everybody, welcome to class today. Today is going to be a nearly 75-minute Pilates class with the foam roller. So I'm using a pretty firm roller and it's a long roller, so you could probably do most of this class with a shorter roller, but at the end you're definitely going to want a longer roller. You could also technically do this entire class without a roller and just wherever I say roll, you would just step or come into the normal poses. This is a pretty advanced class. There's a lot of balance work in here. We stand a lot on the roller, so just know that you can hold onto a wall, you can hold onto a chair, and you can do almost all of these poses without standing on the roller, and that is totally fine. But we're just using the roller to play and have fun and build strength, so let yourself fall, let yourself wobble. It's totally okay. It's not a test, it's just for fun. I also do apologize because at the end he gets a little bit rambunctious, but just listen to my cues and everything will be fine, and I will just get my hand nibbled for about 15 or 20 minutes, but it's all good. If you do enjoy these classes, please remember to like and subscribe and tell a friend. And if you've got comments or feedback, please let me know in the comments section below. We are going to get started straight away standing on the roller, so if there's anything that you need to do to warm up your body or to get movement in beforehand, please go ahead and do that, and then I will meet you standing on your roller. Starting standing on your roller, you're going to put your feet about hips distance apart. You're going to take a nice deep inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, take the left wrist with the right hand. Inhale, grow taller. And then as you exhale, you're just going to take a side bend over to the right. Inhale, come back through center. Switch your grip, exhale. Inhale, reach tall. And then as you exhale, side bend over towards the left. Inhale, come through center, switch your grip. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, come through center, switch your grip. And then as you exhale, side bend over to the left. One more to each side. Inhale, come through center. As you exhale, you're going to take as much of a bend in your knees as you need to. Slowly come all the way to a forward fold. Maybe your fingertips touch the floor, maybe you're just hanging. As you inhale, come into a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Two more just like that. Inhale, you could always have blocks there underneath your fingertips. And then as you exhale, forward fold. One more, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Generous bend in the knees, drop the tail towards the floor, start to roll up your spine. Like you're peeling up segment by segment. Head and neck are the last things to come up. Take a nice deep inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, some steep again. Take your feet as wide as you like to for squats. You can turn your feet out a little bit if you need to. As you inhale, take the arms forward, sink the hips back. Your weight is going to kind of be in your heels, but obviously the roller is round, so it's not going to be exactly like you would be squatting on the floor. Take an extra inhale here. And then as you exhale, press to stand. Make sure the knees don't collapse towards each other. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, hips sink back. Exhale, press all the way to stand. We're going to take 10 more here, nice and slowly. One more, we're gonna hold at the bottom. Holding in your squat, take an exhale. Hands can come to the hips, you might wanna walk those feet a little bit closer together. This is hard. Take your hands wherever you need to. You could always hold on to something. You're gonna keep your squat, take an inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna shift into a single leg chair. So keep a bend in through the left knee. See if you can come to the right tippy toes, maybe float that right leg. Inhale, come back to your chair or your squat. As you exhale, ground down through the right foot. Keep that right knee facing forward. Shift the weight, lift that left knee to the chest. Inhale, come back through center. So there's a lot of stability for a lot of joints. You're gonna keep going from side to side, nice and slow. So obviously you're working really hard through the feet, you're working really hard through the ankles, but also don't forget about your glutes, your hips, your glutes, and everything around there is gonna help to stabilize your knee, which kind of gets stuck in the middle of our hip and our ankle. So if we're not doing the work at the ankle, we're not doing the work at the hip, our knee ends up copping the brunt of everything, and then we end up with really unhappy knees. We're going to take 3 more to each side. Try and keep as even as you can through the pelvis. So that's from side to side, up and down, backwards and forwards, not letting one hip drop out to the side. One more each side. Inhale into your chair pose. Exhale, press all the way to stand. Inhale, sweep those arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, fold forward, bent knees, straight knees, however you want to get down there. Inhale, come into your halfway lift and lengthen. Listen carefully. Bend your knees as much as you need to plant your hands. You're going to start to send that roller back behind you. You'll roll over the toes onto the top of the feet. So you've landed in a plank. That roller should be on the shins. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, keep the spine in neutral. Bend the knees, draw them towards the elbows. Inhale, come back into your plank. So my spine is not really moving. It'll move a little bit, but the movement is mostly coming from my hips bending and my knees bending. So my pelvis isn't going all over the place. My shoulders aren't shifting back and forward. I'm not tucking and rounding through my spine. I'm really using the abs and hip flexors to draw those knees towards me. We're going to take 6 more here. You're going to draw that roller in. Walk it in a little bit so it's kind of in your mid-shin. And then you're going to walk your hands back towards your knees. So you can shift around and find where's best for that roller. It could be closer to your knees, it could be closer to your feet. We're going to come and stand on our shins. This is way harder than it looks like it should be. And you can roll back and forward and you can wobble. You could have one set of toes down on the floor. You could have both set of toes down on the floor and just try floating one at a time. If this is going well for you, then you're going to play with inhaling those arms up and overhead, trying to stay nice and tall. And then exhaling, bringing them through center. 2 more like that. Inhale, sweep those arms, reach tall. Exhale, bring them down. 1 more here. Inhale. Exhale. This time we're going to come all the way down, plant those hands. You're going to keep your knees bent, walk that roller back, so now your toes are tucked underneath it. So you're in a bear pose, but your feet are on the roller. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, keep your pelvis even. Draw the right hip down slightly, right hand taps left shoulder. Inhale, bring it to center. Exhale, left hand taps right shoulder. Inhale, bring it to center. Exhale, right hand. Inhale, center. Exhale, left hand. Inhale, center. So when I lift the hand, I'm pressing down a little bit firmer into that same foot to try and keep the height of my knees as even as I can, and try and keep my pelvis as even as I can. We're going to do 4 more, nice and slow on each side. Okay, from here you're going to pike the hips up, straighten the legs, come into a downward dog on that roller. And then you're either going to walk your hands back or slightly scoot that roller forward so that the arches of your feet are on the roller. Walk yourself back so you're in a forward fold. And then take a generous bend in the knees, start to roll up the spine. So nice and slow. The slowness is going to be twofold. It's going to mean you have to balance for longer, but it's also going to make it a little bit easier to balance because you're more controlled. Beautiful. From here, we're just going to take a little march. So bring your feet about hips distance apart. Hands come to the hips this side. You're just going to shift the weight to the left. Draw the right knee up and towards the chest. And then set it down, shift the weight to the right. Draw the left knee up and towards the chest. So you can decide whether you think doing this in the chair was more or less easy than doing it with a straight leg. When you're standing in this position, I want you to try not to hyperextend through your standing leg. So don't just lock out the standing knee. You've still got a gentle bend in through that knee, so you're really having to use the muscles through your ankle, your foot, and through your leg to stabilize. We're going to take 1 more on each side, and then we're going to add on to this. So we're going to come back into that chair. You're going to inhale, sink yourself down into the chair. Shift the weight to the left. Exhale, pull the right knee into the chest. Keep the knee up. Come all the way to standing. Take an inhale. Come back into a single leg chair. And then set that right foot down. Take an inhale. As you exhale, stay in that chair. Left knee draws towards the chest. Inhale, press all the way to standing on that right leg. Exhale, bend back into the right knee. Send the hips back as evenly as you can. Those left toes can tap onto that roller if you need to. Set the left foot down, take an inhale. This is really hard because it's hard. Exhale, engage that left glute, right knee to the chest. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Exhale, bend back into that left knee. Think of sending both hips back evenly. Inhale, come into your chair. Exhale, left knee to chest. Inhale, press all the way to standing. Exhale, single leg chair. Inhale, chair. Woo. Exhale, right knee to chest. Inhale, press to stand. Exhale, single leg chair. Inhale, chair. We're going to do 1 more on each side, taking it at your own pace. Inhale into your chair. Exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold. This time, see if you can take your peace fingers, hook them around your big toes. Pudangustasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, see if you can draw those elbows off to the side. Draw your torso a little closer in towards your thighs. And the challenge will be dropping the crown of the head towards the floor and looking back behind you. If that's not possible, then you find your seat and you look at it. Take 2 more breaths here. Take those hands down to the floor. Once again, you're going to bend your knees as much as you need to. Plant the hands, walk them forward a little bit, and then start to send that roller back. Coming coming back this time so that the roller is a little bit closer towards the bottom end of the shin. We're going to come into some pikes. You can do the tucks again if you wanted. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, legs stay straight. You're drawing up through the hip creases towards the sky. Shoulders stack over wrists coming into a plank. Inhale, roll it back down. Exhale, engage your lats. Draw your armpits towards your hips towards your armpits. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, pike up. Ooh, take them out with you. Inhale, roll it back. We're going to take 5 more here. Last one. And roll it down once again. We're going to make our way to standing on our shins on the roller, so you can walk yourself forward or backwards. Adjust your mat along the way. And then when you're ready, you're going to try and find your balance standing on your shins. If this is enough for you, you're going to stay here. Otherwise, we're going to take those side bends like we did standing at the start. So you're going to inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Take the right wrist with the left hand. As you exhale, you're going to side bend over towards the left. Inhale through center. You might not be able to see it, but my right foot is constantly tapping down on the floor. As you exhale, you're going to side bend left. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend. Oh, that was meant to be right. Now you're going to side bend left. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. One more each side. Inhale through center. And then as you exhale, slowly send the hips back as you send the arms forward. See if you can hover for as long as you can to get those hands down to the mat. And then you're going to walk yourself back forward, tuck the toes onto the roller, and this time you're going to send yourself back out into a plank with your toes tucked. We're going to take those shoulder taps again to start. So find your plank, and then you're going to tap right hand to the left shoulder. Inhale it back to your plank. Exhale, left hand to right shoulder. Inhale to plank. You're going to take 4 more on each side, trying to keep that pelvis as even as you can. It will shift a little bit, and that's okay. We're just aiming to keep it as steady as we can. 1 more on each side. Now, you could keep going like this. Otherwise, as you tap the right hand to the left shoulder, you're going to lift the left foot. Inhale, set it down. As you tap the left hand, you're going to lift the right foot. Inhale, set it down. So nothing else changes in terms of wanting to keep the pelvis and the torso stable, except now you're only relying on 2 limbs to hold you stable as opposed to 3. We're going to do 3 more on each side. And then from here, you're going to find your feet back on the roller. Walk yourself back towards your feet. Scoot mine forward so I'm not landing in my couch. And hang forward for a moment. Generous bend into the knees as you start to stack the spine, coming all the way to standing. So we're going to add some rotation, but first of all, we're going to play a little bit. This time onto the tippy toes. So I would definitely recommend taking yourself close to a wall or something you can hold on to. I'm going to hold on to my staircase. This is going to be hard. So, we're going to start by just coming onto the left toes. And then we're going to try and get really light on the right foot. So that might be enough. The right foot might still be pretty much planted, but you're just really light on it, and that's great. And then we're going to bring it down and we're going to switch it out. So you're going to come up onto those right tippy toes, and you're just starting to shift more weight into that right foot, maybe, straightening out through the right knee. And then slowly release. Now we're going to try both feet, but we're going to do them one at a time. So you're going to start by coming up to those left toes, and then you're going to lift the right foot and then plant the right toes. So now you're on the balls of your feet. Maybe you can let go of whatever your balance surface was. Woo! Have it close, because that might happen. Full disclosure, I have fallen on my ass many, many times playing with the foam roller. Luckily, I've never hit my head. And then you're slowly going to bring it back to neutral, and we'll go from the other direction. So you'll plant the ball of your right foot, and then start to see if you can get really light on your left foot, and then put even weight through both feet, maybe seeing if you can catch your balance. And if this is going really well for you and you're like, dude, Taz, this is like a piece of cake, then please feel free to add arm movements, feel free to add rotations. You could do a squat from here. I don't know that I'm quite there. I'm going to try it off camera before I try it on camera, because I fall on my face. Funny for you, or funny for me. And then you're going to come back down. If that's working for you, you're going to stay there. Otherwise, we're going to try do both feet at the same time. So you're going to come to stand on your roller, but not with the arches of your feet on your roller. So more towards the back of so more so that the back of your foot hangs off the roller. This might be like way enough balance here, just having your ball of your foot on the roller, but not raising up through your heels. If that's going well, then maybe you're trying to do a calf raise. So shifting the weight forward a little bit more so that the heels can raise, woo, and then slowly coming down. This is really hard. You're going to come up onto those tippy toes, and then you're slowly going to come down. My foot that I recently broke is also not super stoked about this, so once again, I am a good physio, but do as I say and not as I do. Wait longer than a week post-fracture healing to start jumping and going hardcore would be my advice. We're going to do 3 more heel raises if that's where you're at. And then you're slowly going to let it go. Step off your roller or just re-maneuver yourself so that the arches of your feet are back on that roller. And we're going to come into some squats. We're going to add a rotation. So we're going to start with just our double leg squat. So you're going to inhale, sink those hips back, come into your squat. As you exhale, you're going to stand, you're going to take the right elbow towards the back of the room, but keep that right hip facing forward. Inhale, come back into your squat. As you exhale, press to stand, left hip stays forward as that left elbow goes back. Inhale, come through standing. Exhale, if that's going well, maybe this time the right arm sweeps back behind you. Inhale it back through center. And then as you exhale, left hip stays forward as the left elbow or the left arm comes back behind you. Inhale, bring it forward. We're going to do 5 more to each side. And there'll be no prizes for guessing that the next time that we come to standing, we're going to take this into a single leg variation. Got one more on each side. Inhale, come through center, sweep those arms up. If you're playing with raising to your toes, maybe that's where you're going. And then as you exhale, you're going to take your forward fold. Inhale, come into a halfway lift and lengthen. So we're going to hold this halfway lift. So press your hands into your shins into your hands. See if you can send your tailbone backwards, your sit bones to the wall behind you, and your sternum forward, your gaze is down. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to keep this length through your spine. You're just going to float those arms off to a capital T. As you inhale, you're going to give yourself a big hug. Wrap those arms around your torso. And then as you exhale, you're going to come to flat. As you inhale, the opposite arm is going to be on top. So switch arms. And then as you exhale, come to flat. Inhale, switch arms. Give yourself a hug. Exhale, come to flat. Inhale, switch arms, give yourself a hug. Exhale, come to flat. We're going to do 4 more. Keep lengthening through the spine. Last one. Inhale here. And then exhale, forward fold. Take your hands to the mat, and then you're going to roll yourself back over that roller. We're going to come down onto the forearms. So we're going to take a saw. So my roller is about mid-shin. My feet are floating. My elbows are underneath my shoulders, and my forearms are parallel. As you inhale, you're going to press the floor away. Slide that roller up towards your knees. You're going to make an angle from your elbows to your shoulders. And then as you exhale, engage through your lats. Pull the floor towards you to slide forward. Inhale, press back. My body stays in a plank. My shoulders are the only thing moving. And then as you exhale, pull yourself forward. We've got 8 more here. Gaze is neutral, jaw is relaxed. You might have to adjust the roller. We've got 1 more here. From here, you're going to angle your right forearm in as much as you need to make it good on your shoulder for a side plank. And then you're either going to stack the left foot on top of the right on your roller in a side plank, or you could also stagger the feet. You might need to readjust yourself so that your hip, your feet, and your shoulder are in a line. Top hand can come to the sky, it can come to the hip, or to come down to the floor in front of you for support. As you inhale, you're going to push that right forearm away, roller will come towards the knee, and then as you exhale, pull it back towards you. You're sliding along a wall, your torso and your pelvis aren't rotating backwards or forwards. We've got 4 more here. One more. Bring yourself back through your forearm plank. Angle that left forearm in, and then you're going to pivot onto your left side. Make any adjustments that you need to make your side plank aligned. And then as you inhale, you're going to press the floor away with that left arm. And then as you exhale, engage your lat, draw the roller towards you. Inhale, press the floor away, roller comes towards the knee. Exhale, draw the floor towards you, it goes towards the ankles. We've got 6 more. Come back into your forearm plank. Plant one palm, plant the other palm, roll those knees in towards you enough that you can get the arches of your feet back onto that roller. Walk yourself all the way up into a forward bend, and then slowly peel your way up the spine. We're back in standing. Okay, so from here, we're going to continuously fall off our roller. You're going to take that squat twist into a single leg variation. If that doesn't work for you, then you stick with what we did before. So start by coming into your squat on your inhale. This time as you exhale, you're going to press through that left foot. Right knee draws towards the chest as you twist the right elbow towards the back of the room. Try and keep that pelvis relatively even. You could do a hybrid and you could just come up onto the right toes, so you've still got that one little balance point. As you inhale, set the right foot down, come back into your squat. And then as you exhale, press down into that right foot as you come to stand. Left knee draws towards the chest as you twist to the left. So this doesn't have to be one fluid, smooth movement. And it also doesn't have to be fast. I would prefer that you went slow and really did this with good form. Really try to keep your pelvis even side to side. You're not just dropping out into the standing hip. You're really rotating through the torso, as opposed to just like cranking through a whole bunch of them with a really shitty form. And you can break it down into its component parts. So you can go squat, stand, shift, draw the knee in, and then twist. It doesn't have to be like one fluid, pretty movement. It's not a competition. If I can do it on YouTube and post it to the world, I'm sure that you can do it in your living room or wherever it is that you're doing this. We're going to do 4 more to each side. Always use a wall as well. One more to each side. through center. Inhale, sweep those arms all the way up and overhead. And then as you exhale, you're taking your forward fold. Inhale, we're going to come into that halfway lift again, and we're going to hold. Take an exhale here. Inhale, lengthen. This time as you exhale, you're going to float those arms out in front of you. So you might have to come into more of a bend in the knees to keep that spine neutral. Take an inhale here. You're going to keep this bend in your torso, so you've got, not in your torso, sorry, in your hips. So this hinge at your hips. You're going to take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to sweep that right arm towards the back of the room. Inhale it back forward. So for the moment, my torso is staying neutral. Exhale, just my left arm is sweeping towards the back of the room. Inhale through center. We're going to take one more like that. You should really feel your hamstrings working to help to stabilize you here. Inhale through center. This time as we exhale, you're going to take that right arm back. You're going to bring your torso with you, but it's like you're sliding along a glass table. So don't bring your torso up, keep it nice and low. Inhale, you're going to come back to center. Exhale as you take your left arm back, you're going to bring that torso with you. Inhale it back to center. We're going to do one more on each side because my hamstrings are killing me. Inhale, reach long and forward. Exhale, forward fold. That was way harder than I thought it was going to be. Inhale, come into your halfway lift. And then as you exhale, you're going to plant those hands. We're coming back to a plank pose. Okay, so this time you're going to have one shin on the roller and the other is going to float. We're going to come back into those tucks. So as you inhale, you're going to draw that right knee in towards the chest. The right knee is just floating. And then as you exhale, you're going to switch. You're going to send the right knee back, roll the roller in with the left. Inhale, right knee, exhale, left. Inhale, right, exhale, left. 5 more. Bring both legs back on the roller. This time your right shin is going to be on the roller. You're going to float the left. As you inhale, draw the left knee to the chest. Exhale, right. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. 5 more. And then come back to plank. You're going to come down onto your forearms. So from here we're going to play with a dolphin pose. So you want to have enough room on that roller that it can roll down your shins a little bit. Forearms are parallel, elbows underneath the shoulders. Take an inhale, palms down. As you exhale, you're going to pike those hips up. It might not be a full dolphin, that's okay. If you've got dinosaur arms like me, it's just not enough room. Inhale, come back to your forearm plank. As you exhale, pike those hips up. See if you can float the head off the mat. Inhale, take it back. We're going to take 8 more here. If this doesn't work for you, you can come back to doing this on your hands, or you can go back to those forearm saws that we did, the seesaws that we did before. One more. Send it back. You're going to drop the knees, reach the arms forward, come into a child's pose, or fix your mat. And then we're going to come back onto those forearms. You're going to angle that right forearm in any amount, and then come to the outside edge of the right shin. You're going to draw the left knee in towards the chest, so it's floating. Left arm can be wherever's comfortable. On your inhale, you're going to press the floor away. As you exhale, you're going to draw yourself back towards you. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, draw yourself in. Try and keep that left leg floating. We've got 5 more. Set that left foot down. You're going to rotate all the way onto your left forearm. Set up your alignment and then draw that right knee in towards the chest so that the right leg is floating. As you inhale, press yourself away. As you exhale, pull yourself in. Inhale, press away. Exhale, pull in. We've got 6 more. Keep that knee drawing into the chest. One more. Come back to your forearm plank. Come back up onto the palms. And then make your way back to your feet, however you prefer to do that. I assume that you figured it out by this point in class. Generous bending through the knees. So it's going to be our last little standing sequence like this. You're going to roll yourself all the way up. So we're going to play with a warrior 3. But we're going to prepare first. So your first option would be to hang out with the movement that we're going to do here first. You're going to shift your weight into your left foot, and then you're going to take that right foot just off the roller behind you. So it's still floating, but it's just behind the roller. You're going to take an inhale, try and keep your pelvis even. And then as you exhale, you're just going to come into a hip extension. So my lower back isn't isn't arching. The movement is coming from my glute. So you put your hands on the back of your pelvis, just like making a little wall for yourself. As soon as you start to feel your pelvis shifting forward away from you, you've gone too far. We want to keep this just in the hip joint, engaging the glute, engaging the hamstring. We're going to do 4 more here. Beautiful. And then you're going to set that right foot down. You're going to shift the weight into the right foot. And then you're going to float that left foot just behind the roller. So start by evening off through your pelvis. I already noticed that for me, this side is way harder to stabilize through my pelvis. So just be aware for you what is going on. And then you're going to start to float that leg back behind you. Maybe you're taking your hands there again to remind yourself that that movement is not coming from the lower back. I'm going to take 4 more here. And then you're going to float that left foot on. So your first option would be to go right knee to chest and then just float that right leg back behind you into that little hip extension. Bring it back forward, right knee to chest. And then float it back into that hip extension. You could totally stay there. You could be near a wall if you wanted to. You could draw that right knee to your chest, and then just like we were in our halfway lift, you're going to start to bring that torso parallel to the floor-ish as you send that right leg back behind you. You're going to engage in through that through that left glute, draw that right knee in towards the chest. Maybe you have to tap it down, maybe you don't. We're going to aim for 10 on each side. You take as many breaks as you need to. You get rid of the roller if you need to. You hold onto a chair or a wall. This is your practice. You make it what you want it to be. And remember, you can always pause this video. You can always turn this video off and come back to it. Just remember, this stuff is hard because it's hard. If it's frustrating, that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not something that anyone's ever going to test you on during your day. And it's going to be like, hey, you go stand on this ridiculously round and wobbly surface on one leg just for funsies. No, I'm just going to do that. But people will throw hard shit at you. And you need to know within yourself, it's like, you know what, I can do hard things. I can do hard things. And now I'll shut up and let you do the last 6 on your own. Oh, sorry, it's 5. Sorry, my bad. If you finish before me, feel free to come into whatever stretch or movement feels good for you. Maybe that's a forward fold, maybe it's a child's pose, maybe you're just standing and shaking it out. This is my last one. And similarly, if you need more time, please feel free to pause and take your time. I'm going to set that right foot down, that left leg a little bit of a break. So once again, your first option would be left knee comes to the chest, left foot just floats behind. Left knee comes to the chest, left foot just floats behind. Move to the wall because this side is definitely going to be harder for me. Otherwise, you're going left knee towards the chest, and then you're going to take that left leg back behind you as you tilt your torso forward into your warrior 3. Try and keep that left hip down as much as you can. And then bring that left knee back in towards the chest. You're going to do 9 more on your own. I hope you're listening to music and not just the weird sound of me breathing. This is my last one, but you take as much time as you need. And then you're going to step that left foot down, step off the roller. You're just going to give your ankles a little bit of a roll out. See, give those legs a little bit of a shake. Grab a drink of water. We're going to make our way down. We're going to make our way down. So you're going to come down onto all fours. If you've done a roller class with me before, you have done this. You're going to set that roller up so that it's parallel with the long end of the mat. Your dog is going to sit in the most inconvenient place possible. Option 1 would be that right toe is tucked on the mat behind you and that right shin is on the roller. Option 2 would be that your foot is off the floor but your toes are kind of gripping the back of the roller. And then the third option would be the entirety of that that right shin and foot is on the mat. The left leg will extend behind you like a plank and your hands are out in front of you. We're going to start just by taking that left leg up and then floating it down. So find where your hands need to be. Left leg floats up, left leg floats down. So you're trying to keep your pelvis as neutral as you can. We're going to take 2 more just like this. You could continue there. Otherwise, right hand will come out in front. As you exhale, come up into your spinal balance. Inhale, tap down. Shoulders and hips face the floor. Exhale, slow float up. Inhale, slow float down. We've got 8 more wherever you are. Thank you. Gracias. Un poquito. Ahora no es que I think we've got 3 more. I got distracted by the little yellow 4-legged friend in my face. Alright, this one you're going to hold it up there. The right hand could come down. As you exhale, keep the left kneecap facing to the floor. You're just going to float the left leg to the left. Inhale it back to center. Exhale, float it to the left. Inhale it back to center. You're really making my life difficult though. You're going to take 5 more, so you do 8 in total. Stop it. One more. Whew. And then you're going to set it down. I'm going to take it to the other side. It doesn't seem to matter how many times I do that. It doesn't seem like it's any less hard. I mean, my balance is better, but man, it's still hard. So set that left leg up on the roller however you want it. It might be different to the first side. Send that right leg back behind you like a plank leg. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to float that right leg up. Inhale, set it down. Exhale, float it up. Inhale, set it down. So we've got 3 more here. Take this time to figure out if you feel like your upper body is in the right position. You could absolutely stay here. Otherwise, you're going to extend that left arm out in front of you. And then as you exhale, your dog's going to high-five you. You're going to float it up into your spinal balance. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale into your spinal balance. Inhale, bring it down. You're going to do 8 more, and I'm just going to play high-five with my dog. On your last one, you're going to hold it up. You're going to take an inhale. Left hand can float or it can come down. As you exhale, right toes face the floor. Float the right leg off to the right. Keep the pelvis even. Inhale it back to center. Exhale it off to the right. Inhale it back to center. You've got 6 more here. One more. And then you're slowly going to set it down. You're going to line that roller up with the long end of, with the short end of your mat. You're going to come all the way down onto your belly. Your thumbs, serious face to have. Your thumbs are going to face up towards the ceiling, your shoulders and hips distance apart. The tops of your feet are in the floor. Head is down. Take an inhale. As you exhale, press the forearms down into the roller. Roll the roller towards you as you start to peel up any amount into a back bend. So it's like a seal pose almost. And then as you inhale, you're going to press the roller into your head and roll yourself all the way back down. As you exhale, pull it up towards you, come into your back. Oh, this is like you extreme support. Inhale, you're going to roll it out. You're going to do 8 more of these. I did just walk in for like nearly an hour and a half before I filmed this, but he is really needy at the moment because my husband is away in Australia and I have to work still, and so he's left at home all by himself all day. Anytime I'm here and I get on the floor, he's like, oh my god, it's time for cuddles and besos y abrazos. And it's a bit frustrating sometimes. You're halfway through, you've got 4 more. This time we're going to hold it up. You're going to take your palms face down and you're going to press that roller a little bit away from you so that your palms are flat on the roller and you're as high as what is comfortable for you. This might be enough for you. You're going to take an inhale. As you exhale, press down through the left hand. See if you can sweep that right arm back. Maybe it taps the right leg. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, you're going to lay all the way down. Take an inhale at the bottom. Exhale, press into the hands. Inhale here. As you exhale, sweep that left hand back. Follow it with your gaze. Tap it to the left leg. Inhale, bring it back forward. Exhale, set it down. We'll do it to the breath now. So inhale at the bottom. As you exhale, press up. Press down into the left hand. As you come up, you're already sweeping that right arm back. Inhale, sweep it forward as you come all the way down. Exhale, press into that right hand. You're pulling that roller towards you as you're sweeping the left arm back towards the left hip. Inhale, you're coming down, setting your head down. Exhale, press into the left hand. Roll that roller in, sweep that right arm back. Inhale, roll it out long, set the head down. Exhale, press into the right hand, left arm sweeps back. Inhale, roll it down. We've got 2 more on each side. Yes, go chest box. One more. Inhale, bring it down. As you exhale, you're going to roll that roller in towards you. We're going to transition and make our way onto our backs. Before we lie on the roller, since your roller is already parallel with the short edge of the mat, you're going to turn around and lie on the roller so that the roller is just below your shoulder blades to start with. Your spine is in neutral, so you're not arching through your back. You've got a little bit of a rib to hip connection, but you're not flattening. Keep that rib to hip connection through your spine, hands behind your head. As you inhale, you're going to let your upper body arch, so feel the thoracic open without losing that rib to hip connection. And then as you exhale, think of drawing the rib cage towards each other, drawing the rib cage down towards the pelvis as you curl up. Inhale, feel that opening through the thoracic, the upper back, arch back. And then as you exhale, slowly contract the belly, draw yourself up. Just going to do 8 more like this. And you can feel free to play around with where you want that roller on your upper back. If there's another position that feels better for you, please take it. Just know that the more that you kind of have it over the shoulder blades, it's going to slightly limit your movement going backwards. We've got 2 more. Last one. And then from here, you're going to roll yourself all the way up. You're going to put that roller through the center of your mat long ways. You're going to sit on the edge of the roller. You're going to start with a couple of roll-ups. So make sure that when you land, your head is going to be on the roller. Sit nice and tall, take an inhale. As you exhale, center in through the spine. You're going to, just roll my camera, you're going to roll yourself all the way down, bone by bone by bone by bone. I'm just watching him because he's trying to chew his bed and it's on the cord for the camera. Inhale, you're going to sweep those arms all the way up overhead. Don't lose that rib to hip connection. As you exhale, fingertips float to the sky. Think of someone drawing you up by your fingertips. Gentle tug of the chin to the chest and then peel yourself off segment by segment. Try and keep the feet heavy on the floor. Easier said than done. Inhale, sit nice and tall at the top. As you exhale, C curve, roll yourself all the way down. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, fingertips towards the sky. Slowly roll all the way up. It's like I'm pulling you up by the fingertips. Plant the feet. Inhale, sit tall at the top. Exhale, roll down. We're just going to do one more like this. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, fingertips lead, gentle tug of the chin to the chest, rib cage slides towards the pelvis, press every segment of the spine into the roller as you roll up. Inhale, come on. Exhale, roll it down. This time we're going to float one leg at a time. So as you inhale, reach those arms up overhead. As you exhale, fingertips lead, chin to chest. As you feel that lower spine imprint onto the mat, onto the roller, then you're going to float that right leg up, draw it into a tabletop at the top. Take an inhale. As you exhale, keep that right leg floating as you slowly start to roll it all the way back down. Once you feel that spine imprint, you can float the right foot down. Inhale, reach those arms up and overhead. Exhale, lead with the fingertips, gentle tuck of chin to chest. Once that spine imprints, you can start to float that left leg up. And then roll yourself all the way into seated. That left leg ends up in tabletop. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to reverse that process. Once you feel that spine on the roller, you can start to float that left leg down. We're just going to do one more on each side. Last one here. And then bring it back down. You're going to set your feet down. You're going to be nice and even on the roller. Plant your hands down by the roller, take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to float your right leg up into tabletop and float your left leg up into tabletop. Feel your spine come into imprint. Knees are above the hips. Your shins are parallel to the floor. Now, easier would be to keep the hands down onto the floor. A little bit harder would be to come up onto the fingertips with the hands really close to the roller. Hands further away or wider will make this a little bit easier. And then next hardest would be to float one hand, and then hardest would be to try and float both hands. So maybe you're just playing around with catching your balance here for a second. We're going to start to add some leg movements in. So you're going to start to keep the right knee bent. You're just going to tap the right toes towards the floor, only so far that you can keep that imprint in your spine. And then exhale, draw it back to center. Inhale, you're going to tap those left toes down. And then as you exhale, you're going to draw back to center. Maybe you're floating the opposite arm away from you, kind of like a dead bug. So as my left toes go down, my right arm is floating. And then as I'm exhaling, I'm drawing them both back to center. Or maybe you've got both arms floating the whole time, or you're doing like a fluid little switch in between. So play around with it, be creative in your workouts. I'm just here to guide you, and I want you to make this your own workout. No, you can't go out there. No, you're going to chase the chickens. Yeah, I know you. I watch what you do. We're going to take 2 more on each side. Come on, dude. I feel like 5 minutes, please. Yeah, ever since I got a dog, I have like so much more respect for people who have children. So if it is like this intense having a dog, I can only imagine what it's like having a child. At least I can walk him outside if he gets really irritating. Anyway, some of my little Mexico problems. You're going to come back into your tabletop. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to keep your knee bent. You're just going to float your left leg off to the side as much as you can, keeping neutral through that right hip. Don't let the right leg also float off to the right. So the right leg stays where it is. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring that left knee back to center. Inhale, you're going to float that right leg off to the right. So I'm not rotating through the hip. I'm just abducting. And then exhale that back to center. Inhale, float the left leg out. Maybe one or both hands are floating as well. Exhale, bring it back to center. And then as you inhale, float that right leg out. Exhale it back to center. We're going to do one more like this on each side. And then you're briefly just going to float those legs down. We're going to come up into a bridge, release those hip flexors. You can cactus through the arms. Take a nice deep inhale. Big open mouth exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. And then you're going to roll it down. This is our last little thing that we're going to do. You're on your home stretch. You're doing really well. You're going to float those legs back up into tabletop. Option to have one hand or both hands floating. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, you're going to extend the right knee. So my leg is out on a 45. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, the same thing as we did before. You're just going to float that right leg out to the right. Left leg stays where it is. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring it back to center. We're just going to stick with the right leg. Inhale, float it off to the right. Keep neutral into your pelvis. And then as you exhale, come back to center. Maybe you're playing around with floating the opposite hand. Maybe you're playing around with floating the same hand. We're going to do 4 more on this side. And then bring it back to center. From here, we're going to switch sides. So you're going to take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to extend that left leg off so that the knee is long and your leg is on a 45. Take an inhale. You're going to float that left leg out to the left. Maybe it can go further, maybe it can't go as far. And then as you exhale, bring it back to center. So that right leg is like it's made out of concrete. It's not going anywhere. We're going to take 6 more on this side. Play around with different balance points. Last one here. I'm going to draw it back in, slowly set those feet down. You're going to let those arms open up to a cactus or maybe a capital T, and just rock yourself from side to side. It's too ridiculous. You're literally chewing my hand. From here, you're slowly, safely going to make your way off the roller. So maybe you come into one last roll up. Maybe you just roll yourself to the side. We're going to come into an all fours position. We're going to thread the needle. So you're going to have the roller to the outside of your left hand. The back of your right hand is going to come to the top of the roller. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're just going to let that right hand slide the roller away from you. You could stay down in this stretch, or you could come in and out of it. We're going to take 4 more breaths here. I'll let you choose what feels the best for you. And then come back to center, and we're just going to take it to the other side. So put the roller to the outside of your right hand and your right knee. The top of the left hand will come onto the roller. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to press that roller away from you. You can either stay or you can roll yourself back in and then roll yourself back out. And we're going to take 4 more breaths. One more. And bring it up into center. And we're going to finish, I'm going to let you choose. You're either going to finish in a puppy pose, or any pose that feels good for you. So you could bring your hips over your knees, hands on the roller, and then just send that roller forward, letting the forehead or the chest sink towards the mat. Otherwise, you can kind of come into more of like a prayer child's pose. So your elbows will come onto the roller, you'll make prayer hands, and then you'll sink your hips back either into a child's pose or into a bent arm puppy pose. Again, this really depends on the mobility in your shoulders. Your forehead could come to rest on the roller if that's better for you. That's better for my mobility. Your thumbs are coming back behind the back of your head. I just encourage you to find something that feels good here. You can move in it. It doesn't have to be still. And I'm going to leave you here. Please feel free to find any other movements or poses that feel good for you. As always, thank you so much for practicing and playing with me today. Today, as you go forward, may you have kindness and forgiveness in your thoughts, kindness and forgiveness in your words, and gratitude in your heart. Namaste.